speech from John Podesta in lieu of Hillary Clinton. What we have learned is that she does not anticipate delivering remarks this evening. They have asked their supporters to leave the Javits Center to return home. If you are like us, you have as many questions as we do, and we're going to dissect for you what this means, what the Clinton campaign is thinking. Nelifer, as you just said, are you mad?
I cannot. I mean, that speech was a man managing to use many words to say very little, but what he did say, what I can intimate from that, is that they're still hopeful that there will be a Clinton victory. I mean, it's all but, impossible for her to win. I just want to kind of talk a bit more about the reactions in the wider world.
Let's hold off on that because I think we need to talk domestically about what's happening.
I mean, like, if I was those people whose entire soul and being was, I'm offended for them. How did she not show up herself?
Doesn't that make you think that there's something else
at play? What does that say about her character and her courage? Well, no, what that says to me is that she didn't have the courage to go and face all of those people and say, listen, I love you so much. Thank you for everything that you've done. But we're gonna wait this out until tomorrow. At the very least, have the decency to show up yourself and face all of those people and thank them for what they've done.
So I think that's one narrative that comes out of this. Is there anyone who thinks that there's something more nefarious at play here?
Unless the Hillary Clinton campaign thinks they're going to file a recount somewhere because they're that close that they can think they can bring it home, then maybe. But I don't see it.
I don't see that either.
Yeah, if we're dealing with like House of Cards here, and maybe they're sitting back and they're saying like, we think we're going to end up winning the popular vote, and if we win the popular vote, how are we going to drag this out and fight it out until next season? Maybe that's the only thing I can imagine. I can see a dozen different ways. As a former campaign manager, I can see a dozen different ways why she would not come out yet. Because really, the only time that you see a candidate at this point is when they're going to concede, and you know the Clintons aren't about to concede. But mathematically, again, she has no argument to make right now unless.
Can I just
really
talk? Sorry, I need to break in and talk about this unbelievable visual, which is we are watching Democrats file out to the sound of fight song, which is the most incongruous sound and image, right? I'm going to be here till the end. I am going to fight for this. No, actually, go home, take a break. We'll see how things are in the morning. I mean, it is wildly.
You've legitimately entered the twilight zone, folks. This is now beyond. There is no precedence for this. Wow.
You know, what it says to me is that the Clinton campaign was so dead set on the fact that they would win, that they have not even attempted to figure out what they would do in a scenario like this. There's no speech to concede. They're so shocked that they don't even know what to do with a loss. They don't even know how to go and thank their own supporters.
This might be the first time we've agreed all night.
Yes. Yeah, I totally
I mean, let's not pretend that Trump ain't shocked either, right? I'm sure they were scribbling together a speech right now because I don't think there's not one person on this planet right now, outside of the deepest red Trump supporter, who actually thinks this will play out the way it did.
I want to go back now to Kim Brooks, who is still, before she files out, at what was supposed to be Hillary Clinton's victory party. You are watching footage of Hillary Clinton supporters leaving after John Podesta, the chair of the Clinton campaign, told them there would not be remarks tonight from Secretary Clinton. Kim, I mean, what are you making of it?
Can it get any more confusing? I mean, you know, we were waiting here. It's confusing, to be honest. I mean, if the results come in the morning, everyone here thought, you know, it was over, that, you know, Trump had won this, and for him to come back out on stage and say that there's still hope and we're going to find out in the morning. I mean, that's great because people are hoping that she will pull a win, but it's also, you know, really sad, I think, for the folks here because they wanted to be here when she did. And so all these folks have to go home and just to learn it on the news. I mean, the whole idea was to be here so everyone could celebrate. And now they're not going to get a chance to do that. And no one really knows. So we're kind of leaving with no closure. It feels sort of like, what?
Yeah, there's a sense of confusion.
So
I do. I mean, I think, Kim,
this was a crazy night.
Kim, what is so incredible is that, you know, Donald Trump has for weeks now been saying that he might not accept the validity of election results. There's been talk about whether or not Hillary Clinton could issue an acceptance speech without a concession speech. And yet what we're getting tonight is quite the inverse. Donald Trump has said nothing We will not receive a concession speech from Hillary Clinton. And instead, we are all now waiting to see what Donald Trump will do. I have to ask the supporters in the room, beyond being disappointed, was there any sense of anger or annoyance about the fact that this candidate they had poured a lot of time and energy to was not the one who delivered the message to them directly that tonight was not the night?
Yeah, you know what? I think there probably is some anger, but given that this